In the world of logistics, we know that everything runs on documents, from bills of lading, customs declarations, invoices, proof of delivery. They arrive in a chaotic mix of scanned PDFs, emails, and photos, perhaps from a driver's phone. This isn't just a slow process, but it's a massive drain on your team. In fact, logistics companies spend up to 40 to 50% of their time on manual document handling and repetitive tasks like data entry. This manual effort definitely creates compliance risks and keeps your team from focusing on what matters most. So, when looking at MuleSoft's intelligent document processing, right, or IDP, imagine if you cut that processing time by 70% or more, with some customers achieving up to 90+% reduction in processing time. That's the power of MuleSoft IDP. We combine powerful technologies like OCR, AI, and LLMs to automatically classify, extract, and understand the critical data within these documents. But we also just don't stop there. The true value of IDP is its seamless integration, which instantly delivers that extracted data into your core systems. So whether that's your TMS, WMS, ERP, we take that data from those PDFs, that unstructured data, those photos, those email attachments, we rip that data, and then we're able to directly ingest it into these systems, allowing you to automate your entire workflow from start to finish. This allows you to handle more shipments, reduce that risk, improve customer success, and of course, increase operational efficiency. So let's jump in and see how this platform works.
So I'm going to start off with a shipping document. And it's just a container report, container notification report. And it did a great job on here. And this is maybe where you can start to see how it differs from OCR. If I were doing an OCR document, the format could never really change. I need that field to be in a particular place so that I can map it back. This one was, it's smart enough to go, hey, everything in this column is a seal number. So it broke down the individual containers. Now, where it gets kind of neat is like, I'm looking at this as a person. I'm like, hey, these containers are all gluten, but I don't see that. And the reason it didn't return that is like, I didn't really tell it that. So what if I modified the prompt and I said, hey, everything's grouped and to get it into another system, I need to know what the content is. And you can do that really easily and you can edit these prompts. So I'm going to modify it. I'm going to tell the AI something else. I'm going to tell it containers are grouped by their content. So let me know what the content of each one is. And then I can also do things like unit conversions or sum or transform the data. So I'm going to say, hey, give me the total number of containers and also just sum up the weight. I want to know like the total weight of everything that's delivered. Okay, so it ran. If we look down into a container, we can see, look, it added this little content field. So, this container contains gluten, et cetera, et cetera. If I go down, further down, I can see that the contents of the other one. And then at the very end, it said, hey, there were 17 containers, and here's my total weight. So pretty neat that you can sort of conversationally give it some instructions. Maybe what I really want to know is just, hey, I want a process that flags anyone that weren't signed by the driver for review. So, I can add a condition for that. So I'm going to do that.
Was, can this be integrated to flows and other automations within Salesforce?
Oh,
yeah. Absolutely. Like the whole point of going back to big picture here is the data within these documents. We're taking it, ripping that data, putting it in a digestible format that this can go into any system, whether it's Salesforce or not, whether it's your TMS, like I mentioned, CargoWise, McLeod, et cetera. We can take that data and it'll go anywhere and be completely automated.
Hey, just make sure there's a signature. So maybe I want to flag it and say, was it signed? So yeah, it looked at the image and it found the driver's signature. So it's context aware. It's like way beyond what OCR can do.
Include any observations. That's a wide open question, right? I mean, that could really be anything. So what you're doing is you're opening it up to say, I'm going to deal with a non-deterministic answer, that the AI engine is able to look at this document and figure out, hey, something's not quite, this is not an expected thing for this form, and here's what it is. And now you're able to kind of take some action on that.
Like, obviously the goal is to be as confident as possible, and that's going to be the most helpful with typed formats, with these documents. But I mean, I'm even reading this document right now. I mean, I think if we took a poll amongst the 40-ish people on this call today, it is difficult at times to read these handwritten docs. So what we want with the confidence threshold is that this will just alert your team of anything that the system's just slightly uncomfortable with, and you could set that threshold range so then your team can manually look through it. So it just
right. So we would start with kind of a phase one, like identify some of the documents that provide that biggest return on investment, right? Most of you guys were talking about bill of ladings as being 50% of you guys kind of identified that as the main thing, right? So so start with that, right? Start with something that's going to have a big impact, and then move into some of the things that may involve developing some additional components, or maybe where there's a little more complexity to that, where you're needing to take data from there and save that data in multiple different systems, right?
It's easy for us to show you your documents in action and walk you through a ROI calculation. And in my experience, a lot of times these projects can pay for themselves. So
this is our contact information. We'd love to help customize this to each of your organizations, but we'll definitely be in touch.